Hey everyone, and welcome back to Two Ticket Travel. All right, let's get right into it. We are tackling one of the biggest, most debated questions for anyone planning a Disney World trip right now. Is that super expensive Lightning Lane Premier Pass actually worth the money? Let's break it down. First off, let's set the scene because this pass is really trying to solve a problem. Does this sound familiar? You're supposed to be in the most magical place on Earth, but instead you're just staring at your phone, constantly refreshing the app, trying to grab that next ride time. It's a real frustration, right? It can totally pull you out of the magic. You go in with this vacation dream in your head. You're going to be present with your family, you're going to soak up the atmosphere, maybe even do something spontaneous. But the vacation reality for a lot of us looks different. It's screen time, it's booking windows, and it's the stress of literally running across the park to make a reservation. Well, Disney saw this happening. They saw that friction, and they came up with a way to get you off your phone and back into the park. But as you can probably guess, that convenience, it comes with a pretty hefty price tag. And that solution is the Lightning Lane Premier Pass. So what is this thing exactly? Basically, the Premier Pass is an all-access, one-day pass for one park. You buy it ahead of time, and it unlocks one-time entry to every single ride that has a Lightning Lane. And here is the absolute key. There's no booking, no return windows, no scheduling. You just walk up to the ride you want to ride whenever you feel like it. So, what's included? Well, you get one-time access to all the normal Lightning Lane rides, which is great. But the real game changer here is that it also includes those super high-demand rides. The ones you usually have to pay for individually, like Tron or Guardians of the Galaxy. It's all just rolled into one pass. And I think this quote from SoCal Disney Dad just nails the main benefit. It's not just about skipping lines, it's about having a casual day. It's about getting rid of that frantic feeling of crisscrossing the park and totally changing the whole vibe of your vacation. Yeah, this pass lets you use a completely different and way simpler strategy. You can just start on one side of the park and, well, work your way around in a nice, logical circle. No more checking the app for what's available, and definitely no backtracking from Tomorrowland to Adventureland. You just go from one ride to the next. And that really brings us to what a lot of people say is the number one perk of the Premier Pass. You almost never have to touch your phone. I mean, maybe to order some food, but that's it. You're actually free to be present, to look at the details, to talk to your family, and just enjoy being there. And the amount of time you save is just, wow, it's staggering. We're talking about a 75-minute standby line for Rise of the Resistance turning into an 18-minute experience from start to finish, or a 60-minute wait for Space Mountain becoming just 6 minutes in the Lightning Lane. You are literally buying back hours of your day. But as we said, buying back time doesn't come cheap. So let's talk about the big one, the biggest hurdle for pretty much everyone thinking about this pass, the cost. The price for a Premier Pass isn't just one number. It changes depending on the park and even the day you go. Magic Kingdom, because it has the most rides, is always going to be the most expensive. We're talking on some days almost double the price of a regular park ticket per person. And to really put that cost into perspective, one vlogger with a big group of 14 people reported spending over $11,000 just on the Premier Passes for their 3-day trip. That's on top of tickets and everything else. So yeah, this is absolutely a luxury expense, and it adds up fast. For that kind of money, you really have to know what you're getting. There's this great quote, "Disappointment lives in the gap between your expectations and reality." So let's be super clear about what this pass does not do. Okay, first, it's for one park, and one park only. No park hopping. Second, you only get to ride each attraction one time. And third, and this is a big one to remember, you are standing in the exact same line as people who bought the much cheaper standard Genie Plus multipass. This is not some secret VIP front-of-the-line pass. Okay, so with all of that on the table, the good and the bad, how do you possibly decide if the Premier Pass is the right call for your family? It really all comes down to what you're trying to get out of your day. This pass is an amazing fit if you're on a really short trip, like 1 or 2 days, and you want to do everything. Or if this is a true once-in-a-lifetime trip where the budget isn't the main concern, the experience is. It's probably not a good fit if you go all the time and can just catch a ride you missed on your next visit. So who's the ideal person for this? It's someone celebrating something huge, a honeymoon, a big anniversary, a milestone birthday. It's also a total game changer for big groups that want to stick together without the nightmare of trying to coordinate 15 different ride times. Basically, it's for anyone who puts a huge premium on a stress-free, ride-filled day. Now, on the other hand, who should probably skip it? Well, if you're a regular or an annual pass holder, the value just isn't really there. And of course, it's not the right move for families on a tight budget. And honestly, some people just really enjoy the game of finding the best return times with a regular system and saving all that money. If that's you, this isn't for you. In the end, it all just comes down to this one question. The Lightning Lane Premier Pass isn't really about saving a few minutes here and there. It's about buying a totally different kind of park day, one that's smooth, efficient, and almost completely free of that app-induced stress. And only you can decide what that kind of day is worth.